So you want to make vlogs. Now, where do you start? Maybe you're at the point where you've already made a few vlogs and you've kind of hit that first wall, or maybe you haven't even started and it's just an idea sitting in the back of your mind. I'm here today to tell you that it's actually really easy. I've been doing it for many years. Here's my resume. And most importantly, I've probably made every single beginner mistake you can make when you start documenting your life. So today I wanted to sit down and share with you guys everything I've learned through vlogging and show you guys how you can start documenting your life better and most importantly, more often. I've said this before and I'll say it again. The main thing in any video, whether it's a vlog or a movie, the most important thing at the core of everything is story. And when you think of like the standard Hollywood storyline, it's pretty simple. Bad guy does something, the movie follows the good guy chasing the bad guy, and then the good guy wins. But when you put yourself in front of the camera, I bet that storyline isn't as clear. So I think something that a lot of people struggle with in the beginning is not knowing what to film or what to talk about. So the way I like to think about the stories I want to talk about in my vlog is that at the center of everything, it's just me, it's just my life. Whether you actually realize this consciously or not, your vlog is just an expression of yourself. So whatever you are feeling in that moment, just put it on camera and weave a storyline around it. Maybe there's like a cool side project that you're working on. Just make a vlog about that. How I did this side project, come with me, document the entire journey from start to finish. That's a pretty solid storyline. Back in my college vlog era, a big chunk of my videos, or at least a storyline, was the fact that I was in university and day in and day out, I was working on graduating. That was like a side project that helped push my story forward. You know, when you're hanging out with your friends and you guys get to that remember when conversation happened, a lot of the times I just think of those types of stories and I just tell it to my camera. That is like the most OG type of storytelling, right? Like sitting around a campfire talking to your friends and family. That is how I treat a lot of this storytelling in my vlogs. I think many people when starting out put a lot of pressure on themselves for a vlog to be like a day in the life right now. Today, I have to go out and find a story to tell when that's not really the case. Your story is centered around you. Don't try and be something or someone that you're not. Make a story, build a world. It's your life. And again, there's no rules. Now to follow up, I have a question for you. Do you plan every single thing that happens in your life? No, you don't. Maybe you try to, but let's be real, you don't. So don't try and plan every single thing that goes into your vlogs. Don't try and script everything. I think some people will tell you that you need to script everything, but I'm actually gonna tell you the opposite. As long as you have a general idea you can build towards, I think you will be okay, especially for vlogging. Again, it is you, your life. I already know my feelings and thoughts on whatever topic I'm gonna talk about, so I don't really feel the need to write them down and plan it out. There's really not much more I could share about doing pre-production for a vlog because there really is none. Everybody's favorite, now let's talk about camera gear. So my philosophy with gear is pretty simple. You just want to make sure you have what you know how to use, and more importantly, what actually makes sense in that scenario. Let's say for some reason I'm standing in a lake and I need to get a underwater shot. Well, chances are that like my regular camera just wouldn't be the right camera for that moment. So it doesn't matter if I have like a $10,000 cinema camera. It doesn't go in the water, so that's the wrong camera to document that scene with. I guess what I'm trying to say is if you've ever typed into Google or YouTube and said like, what is the best beginner camera? Whatever you watch and see is gonna be an incredibly biased list, and there's no way for you to know what is the best camera for you until you actually start shooting and figure out what kind of scenarios that you find yourself in. So you guys are probably tired of hearing this, and honestly, I am too, but gear really doesn't matter. But I've gotten this far using like a mid-level amateur camera. It's not a professional cinema camera. It is a Sony a6700, a crop sensor. I vlog using an 11mm lens for my vlogging angle, which is like the wide handheld look. And then right now you guys are seeing it on a zoom lens, a 1770. Everything will be linked in the description. This is not a gear video, so I'm not gonna go too far into it. And truthfully, like over 50% of my vlogs nowadays are filmed on my iPhone. This is an iPhone 16 Pro. I'll throw out a few options here, which I think right now are like good solid pickups for that like first step up from your phone. And I also always just tell people, unless you're gonna spend like $1,000 plus, just keep using your phone. Your phone is better than all cameras under $1,000. In the end, no matter what camera system you use, just make sure you have a good way of getting audio, a good microphone. Audio is so much more important than people think. If I cut the audio from this video right now, none of this would be very engaging and you probably would have clicked away years ago. I think the biggest mistake I made when I first started vlogging my life and wanting to document things was just not simply recording enough and bringing my camera with me everywhere I went. And I know that sounds like pretty simple advice, but in practice, you actually have to consciously remind yourself to bring your camera and film things for the sake of documenting things. But really, most importantly, just remember to bring your camera with you and film as much as possible, because it really is a game of you don't know what's important until you figure out what's not. I like to film A-roll and B-roll, and you've seen that throughout this entire video. So this is like A-roll, where you're actually seeing like the words come out of my mouth, and the B-roll is the stuff where maybe I'm not directly talking to the camera, but it goes on top of everything else. Try and get as much variety as you can in your shots. So like a common saying is get a close, medium, and a wide for everything you're shooting, and that will pretty much cover all of your bases, which also ties into my philosophy about camera gear, which is you want to be using the tools that actually make sense for you. So if the camera is so big and cumbersome to use that you don't even want to bring it out and use it to document your life, then what's the point of having an expensive, big, and heavy camera? So whenever I go out, I just always remind myself to try and bring the best camera that is convenient for me in that moment. Sometimes it's my phone, sometimes it's this camera, sometimes it's something else. So after you do it like a billion times, you'll probably start cutting down on the amount you need to film to actually tell a story. But in the beginning, just film as much as possible, because you don't want to be in the scenario where you get home to edit and realize your story does not make sense. So congrats, you have finished filming your video. Now it is time to sit down at your desk or bring your laptop to your favorite coffee shop and edit your video. So I'm going to share some secrets here of how I edit. Obviously, I can't go through every single thing I do, because that would just be like the longest and most boring video ever. Instead, here are the key things that I focus on when I'm consistently putting out these videos, and just some general tips when you're going through editing your videos. In general, just edit as soon as you can after shooting your video. The sooner you get to it, the fresher it'll be in your mind. So when you're editing, you can quickly cut out the parts where you remember stuttering or you remember messing up your shot. You don't even have to actually scrub through all the footage, because I mean, you shot it like really recently, so it should still be in your memory. There is a huge difference in editing a vlog the same day of, or editing it like a month later when I completely forgot everything that I filmed. So if you can, edit as soon as possible after filming while everything is still fresh. So next, when I open this up in Adobe Premiere Pro, that's what I use. To be honest, if you're starting out, I would recommend you using DaVinci. I'm just so far deep into this like Adobe system. Over time, you'll probably figure out what your creative style is in terms of shooting and also editing, and that will just make your process so much faster. But until you figure that out, here are some tips. So in the 3-pass editing system, the first pass is just me going through and watching all the clips I've shot. It is definitely the longest and most grueling part of the editing process, but it is completely necessary, because I just want to make sure I'm always putting the best footage that I shot in my videos, and the only way to ensure that you do not miss any clips is by actually checking and watching every clip. I'm not really thinking about the story or anything here. I'm more so just going through in chronological order and removing all the bad parts and leaving all the good parts. Once that's done, the second pass is where I actually figure out the story. This part to me is kind of like solving a puzzle. You have a general idea of what you want the final outcome or the final video to look like. I'm always just thinking about what the best way to tell the story is. So if the best way to tell the story is by putting like Tuesday before Monday, I'm gonna put Tuesday before Monday. Think of all the clips you've shot as the pieces to your puzzle, and you just have to figure out the instruction set and how to put those pieces together to actually make your final product. Many times, this is also the pass where you'll realize you're maybe missing parts or missing footage, or you wish you said something differently. It's not really a big deal. You can reshoot, but most importantly, make note of it and make sure you address it in your next video. The third pass to me is all about enhancing the story that I've already built. And you can do that through color, through transitions, through titles, but most importantly through sound, music, and sound effects. And for that, I've been using none other than Epidemic Sound, who are also the sponsor of this video. So Epidemic Sound is my go-to music provider of choice, which allows me to use all of their tracks, sound effects in my videos without any copyright issues. If you've ever gone through the struggle of posting a video and dealing with copyright claims, you understand what I'm talking about. Epidemic Sound has a library of over 50,000 tracks and also 200,000 sound effects. So basically all of your audio needs are covered. I've been using them over the last year, which has helped me not have to deal with any monetization issues, which has definitely helped me in the transition of becoming a full-time creator. Personally, I really like how Epidemic Sound is basically just like Spotify for my YouTube library. I'm able to use all these filters and basically search using keywords to find the right type of music that I want to use to build whatever mood I'm going for. And something that I actually really like is the fact that they're always putting out new features. They recently released the new Adapt feature, which allows you to build upon great music using AI from real artists. Let's say you find that right track with the perfect instruments, everything sounds great, but it kind of is creating the wrong mood. Well, you can use the Adapt tool to adapt it for whatever your use case is. Like everything else off Epidemic Sound, all tracks are safe to publish anywhere. So when you get to that third pass of your editing process, make sure to click that link in description, sign up for Epidemic Sound using my code JASON50. That'll get you access to everything I mentioned today and 2 months at 50% off. And of course, all the music and sound effects from this video are obviously from Epidemic Sound. And that's pretty much all I do for editing. It's a simple 3-pass system. First pass, cut out all the BS. Second, find the story. And third, put it all together. So these are the learnings that I wanted to share today, those mistakes that I've made countless times over and over again when I first started. Do take everything I say with a grain of salt because this is in the end still my creative process, so exactly what works for me might not be replicated perfectly for you, but what matters most is the fact that you've gotten to this point where you want to take the jump and start documenting your life. So the most important thing for you now is to just start doing it. Over time, you'll figure out what actually matters to you, what your creative process looks like. Maybe half the stuff I say today doesn't actually apply to you, and that's perfectly okay. It really just goes to show that there are actually no rules when it comes to making vlogs and documenting your life. You could do it in any medium that you want. To summarize all of the information today, number one, your life is already a very solid story, so lean into the things that are happening in your life to find stories to tell for your vlogs. Don't try and be someone you're not just to make a story. Lean into whatever you're already doing in life, your emotions, and build a world from there. Number two, don't let gear limit you. It really is just a tool. Use what you have at your disposal and make sure to bring it with you as much as possible so you have as much footage to work with as you can. Once you get the hang of it, eventually you'll get better, so you won't have to do that, but when starting out, just film as much as possible. Number three, use the editing system that I shared, where first you're removing all the junk, second you're finding the story, and third you're putting that final polish on. And finally, just stay consistent, because I really think that vlogging is something that basically anyone can do, but what separates a good creator from a bad creator or a beginner creator is the fact that they still continued. Even after making dozens of videos, they're still doing it and experimenting and learning regardless of what the outcome is. I'm sharing all of this with you guys now to help you out when you're starting your journey. This took me years to all learn, so I hope that this video has been helpful and inspires you to go pick up your camera again and start documenting your life. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below and we can get a discussion going. Now it is time to start, have fun with it, allow yourself to experiment and make mistakes, because remember, a vlog is just an expression of your life, so do not try and make it all perfect, because the reality is that life isn't that perfect.